What if I told you the secret to a perfect night's sleep wasn't in some new mattress or a fancy app, but in a thousand-year-old book? Well, today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're diving into the canon of medicine by the legendary physician Ibn Sina to see if his ancient wisdom holds the key to our modern-day restlessness. So let's just jump right in. We're talking about the work of Ibn Sina, or Avicenna, as he was known in the West. His advice on sleep was incredibly detailed, and honestly, some of it is going to sound pretty wild compared to what we hear today. So why was sleep such a big deal for Ibn Sina? Well, for him, it wasn't just about closing your eyes and resting. Not at all. He saw sleep as this powerful, active process, like a nightly tune-up for your entire system. I mean, just look at the scope of this. He believed sleep did everything from restoring your nerve power, what we'd probably call mental energy, to actually finishing the job of digestion. He even thought it balanced the body's humors, the fundamental fluids in ancient medicine. It was basically a total system reboot every single night. And get this, they even had specific remedies if you couldn't sleep. Ibn Sina points to the famous Roman physician Galen, who apparently swore by eating lettuce every single night. Why? Because they saw it as a kind of mild sedative. It just goes to show how deeply they connected what you ate to how you slept. Okay, next up is a big one, timing. For Ibn Sina, when you sleep was just as critical as if you sleep. And his number one rule? It was all about your last meal. This wasn't just some casual advice either. He saw it as a non-negotiable principle for good health. And here's the difference in a nutshell. The perfect time to sleep is after your stomach's already done some of the heavy lifting. He even says you should wait for a rumbling in your abdomen. That's when you get that deep, restorative sleep. But sleeping on a full stomach? Nope. He said it interrupts digestion and leads to restlessness and what he called bodily laxity, that weak, sluggish feeling. The contrast couldn't be clearer. But Ibn Sina was a practical guy. He knew that late meals happen. So what was his solution? Super simple. Don't just roll into bed. Take a short, gentle walk first, just to get that digestive process started. It's a really simple, actionable tip you could literally use tonight. And if you thought that was specific, hold on, because it gets even more so. It wasn't just when you slept, but how you slept. Ibn Sina was convinced your sleeping position had a direct, and I mean profound, impact on your health. He actually laid out a very precise sequence. You start the night by lying on your right side. Then, after a while, you're supposed to shift over to your left. This wasn't just a friendly suggestion. He basically considered it a medical prescription for the perfect sleep. Now, this is where his advice gets really, really surprising. Sleeping on your stomach, he thought it was actually great for digestion, but sleeping on your back, he considered it extremely dangerous. Yeah, his reasoning was that it blocks the body's natural drainage systems, which he claimed could lead to nightmares, a coma, or even paralysis. Wow. All right, finally, let's talk about a habit that I know a lot of us love, the daytime nap. You might think of it as a harmless little luxury, right? Well, Ibn Sina saw it as a major health risk with a whole long list of problems. Seriously, just look at this list. According to him, napping could ruin your complexion, mess with your spleen, weaken your nerves, and just make you sluggish all around. He even connected it to losing your appetite and getting favors more often. His philosophy was crystal clear. Night is for sleeping, day is for being awake, period. But, and this is a really important but, he had one crucial exception to his anti-napping rule. If you were already a regular napper, someone who did it all the time, he advised you not to stop. This just shows he understood that the body gets used to its routines, and that suddenly breaking a long-held habit could actually do more harm than good. So from when you eat to how you lie down, Ibn Sina's guide is this fascinating window into a totally different way of thinking about health. And yeah, we might not worry about our humors anymore, but his core ideas about the links between digestion, posture, and routine, they still make you think. It makes you wonder, right? In our endless search for complex biohacks, have we maybe forgotten some of the simple, ancient foundations of just getting a good night's sleep?